This video is regarding the Republicans in North Carolina trying to stack the deck again. As you no doubt are aware, Governor McCrory lost the election to retain his seat as governor of the state of North Carolina. Now, the Republican legislature has called in a special session in order to basically try to strip away a lot of the power that the governor has, i.e., they want to appoint additional Supreme Court justices in order to maintain the Republican control, and I call it control, of the state Supreme Court. Currently, there are 7 members on the North Carolina Supreme Court. A black man was just elected to one of the positions, which now turns the court to a 4-3 majority for, I guess, Democrats, if you want to use that particular label. Well, the Republican legislature now has called in a special session in order to appoint 2 additional state Supreme Court justices. And they need to do it quick because they still have McCrory in place, and he can sign off, once they pass the legislation, he can sign off on the creation of those 2 additional spots. And obviously, they would nominate 2 additional Republican Supreme Court, state Supreme Court justices in order to take the power back away from the now Democratic-controlled, I guess, Supreme Court, and turn it back into the a Republican-controlled Supreme Court, which is where it is at the present time, but will change as of January. They also want to increase the number of voting officials. Previously, 2 officials were assigned by the governor of North Carolina, and 1 was appointed by, I guess, the people. What they want to do now is they want to add an additional person that's appointed by the people, so that would give the people 2 and the governor 2, which would in effect kill the governor's control over the election officials. Okay, because previously McCrory had appointed 2, so the entire North Carolina election commission was controlled by Republicans. Now with a Democrat coming in, the Democrat obviously would appoint 2 Democratic officials for every individual commission, which would obviously give control of the election process in the state of North Carolina to the Democrats. Well, now the legislature wants to add an additional official, which would in effect negate any power that the governor has. Anyway, let me play this entire clip and you can see everything that's going on in the state of North Carolina. And watch Ralph.
Republicans in North Carolina, folks, yesterday called a special session to pass bills that would lessen the executive power of incoming Democratic Governor Roy Cooper, who will take office on January 1st. The House and Senate filed a plethora of bills, one of which would force Governor-elect Cooper's cabinet picks to undergo Senate confirmation. It was always required by the state constitution, but never enforced. Now, all of a sudden, they want to. Democrats are more angry about a Senate bill that would lessen the governor's power in election oversight. Currently, the governor appoints a majority of state election board officials on the 5-person panel. Well, guess what? They now want to get rid of that and merge it with the state ethics board and then make it a 4-4 split. Republicans get 4, he gets 4. And not only that, they also want to change what's happening in terms of the local boards, where normally there are 3 members. The governor picks 2, then you have 1 of the other party. They now want to make that 2-2 as well. Here is what is being said in North Carolina.
They're all being done, and everybody knows why they're being done. They're being done because they have a governor now who may or may not sign those things. But clearly, Governor Cooper will not sign those things after January 1st.
All right, folks, joining us from Greensboro, North Carolina, via FaceTime is State Senator Gladys Robinson, a member of the North Carolina Black Caucus. Also from Durham, North Carolina, is Bob Hall, the Executive Director of Democracy North Carolina. Bob, I want to start with you. As I've gone through these stories, it is stunning reading these stories, how So Republicans there are so diabolical, and they want to remove significant amounts of power from the state Supreme Court because they no longer have a majority there. Democrats maintain a 4-3 majority. They now want to shift most of their power to a lower court, an appeals court, where they have a majority. So what they're saying is the state Supreme Court should not be the law of the land in North Carolina.
Right, exactly so. It should not be the Supreme Court. What happened was Mike Morgan, a judge from Raleigh, won an election to the Supreme Court, an African-American man, probably the first African-American man to win since Mr. Fry back in 20 years ago. So they are effectively trying to silence him and silence the voters that elected him. So they want to get around the Supreme Court, where there would be a majority Democrats, and move lots of decisions, including the redistricting, to the Court of Appeals, make the Court of Appeals a massive barrier to get to the Supreme Court. And as you say, the Court of Appeals has a majority Republican.
Senator Robinson, I want to go to you. They also want to strip the governor of making appointments to the North Carolina college system of board appointments. They also want to change the process when the lower court also looks at appeals. And as you go through this, all of these different bills, they also, right now, the governor appoints something around 1,500 people. They want to shrink that down to 300.
Right. Well, Roland, we call it power grabbing. They're trying to grab the power of the governor who was elected by the state. You remember they first tried to keep him from taking control in terms of assuming what the people elected him to do. And since that didn't work, now they've decided that they're going to do everything they can, whether constitutionally or I think some is unconstitutional, to make sure they still control. It's just like a child who wrongfully takes a toy is determined that he's going to keep it regardless. So this is a mean-spirit group of people who are determined to control this state regardless of what the people say.
Bob, they also, through this surprise special session, as opposed to being open about it, there was one special session dealing with people who were impacted by floods and the hurricane and storms there. All of a sudden, they decided to slide in this new special session to try to get all of these things done in the next 48 hours.
Exactly. They're doing it all under the cover of, we're just helping people who are suffering from disasters, natural disasters. And then they refused to tell people what they were going to be doing in this follow-up. So it's sort of, it is another shift. You talked about in the previous. They've just they're using victims of disasters as pawns to gather here in Raleigh before Christmas and slam through all this. They're destroying these institutions. They're doing they're taking away his appointment powers for public education. Ratcheting up the private education roles. They're taking the industrial commission, they're changing dozens of different agencies, all so, as the senator said, just as though this is a high school game and they lost a few players, or people have scored against them, so now they're going to turn around and be take a retribution. It's really sick.
Senator Robinson, just first of all, what is the reaction from people there? I know North Carolina NAACP, Reverend William Barber and others holding a news conference today. They're also leading various protests. Are you seeing other citizens who are blasting this naked power grab by Republicans in North Carolina?
We are, Roland. Ever since we returned and there was suspicion about the Supreme Court, people have been crowding the General Assembly. They've had protest signs about not changing things. We've gotten emails, thousands of emails. Citizens are angry. I talked to one of the pastors from my area who represents a part of the state NAACP, and they said, this is just satanic. It doesn't make sense. I think the other thing people need to realize is that we get a chance to redistrict in 2017. And this attempt is also about controlling that, because based but the courts have ruled, then all their documents have to be open based on the registered voters in the state who are majority Democrats. There'll be more Democratic representatives and senators. And so this is another attempt to take control and to grab that process as well.
All right, then, Bob, always surely appreciate it. Senator Robinson, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
And that's what this is about. It's a naked power grab by the GOP in North Carolina. They lost the governor's seat, so now they want to basically try to strip the governor down, strip down his powers to do anything for the most part. And when the redistricting comes in, if they can increase the local election boards and the state election board, thereby neutralizing the governor's power when making those appointments, they can try to maintain the power within the local congressional districts, i.e. diluting the power of, in my opinion, the black citizenship of the state of North Carolina. This is a bunch of bullshit. And the Republicans in North Carolina, they don't give a damn what anybody thinks, because this is out there in the light of day for everybody to see.
Nothing. The two people he picked, the co-chairs of the Republican Party, have said nothing. Outgoing RNC chair Rice previously said nothing. National Republicans have said nothing. I have not seen any black Republican group say anything as well. Again, what you're seeing in North Carolina is shameless, is pathetic, and basically they're saying the hell with the will of the people.
Yeah.
Ralph, I mean, at the end of the day, if you lost at the ballot box, you lost. But to literally sit here and change laws and strip them from this governor, and then one of them even said, oh yeah, we're going to change this law because the Democratic governor, and we'll change it back when it's Republican governor.
It's kind of like what happened with Obama when he got in, and the Republican Party specifically said that their job over the next 4 years, which turns into 8 years, is to stop every bill, every legislation, every opportunity he had to actually move this country in a progressive way.
Hold on.
No, it's funny. Here we are talking about North Carolina. McCrory lost, and I already said that this type of political gamesmanship is ill-advised and short-sighted. But here you're saying that the Republicans lost. Move over, get over with it.
No, actually, no. If you're gonna quote me, no. If you're gonna quote me or paraphrase me, do it correctly. What I said is they lost. What is diabolical is to now come in and completely change the existing law. When you literally have the state Supreme Court, which is the highest court in North Carolina, and then what you're going to do is shift most of their power to a court that is below them. That to me is no. That's not ill-advised and short-sighted. That is shameful and despicable.
Because in the long term, that's going to come back around and bite them in the rear end.
And it's shameful and despicable. That's what I'm saying. That's shameful. That is shameful. And then all of a sudden, so the North Carolina, the Republican governor had oversight of all the election boards, and 2017 is coming up. Oh no, now let's not have 2-1, let's now go 2-2. Let's get rid of the state. You literally want to get rid of the state election board. They literally want to, they introduced a bill to strip even the North Carolina state superintendent's power for education and move it to local superintendents.
So why isn't the National Party saying anything against it?
Why are national black Republicans calling this out?
I don't speak for every black Republican, just like you don't speak for every black Democrat.
Well, first of all, one, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. That's first. Two, I'm also not a party official like you are. And so have you, well, how about this here, because I asked you before, have you called a meeting of fellow black Republicans and say, we need to come out and condemn this?
Man, what we're doing right now, honestly, is we're in the process of building a government.
Okay.
At the
The
national
answer is no.
y'all did
The answer is no. And also, I asked you last time, Ralph, when were y'all as black Republicans were going to publicly stand up and call out voter suppression, and y'all still haven't done it. And what I'm saying is this here. This is shameful, despicable, is diabolical, and I don't care who you are, that is not American. Coming up next on News.